All right. For those of you who do not know me, I'm Rich Collis. I'm actually one of those poor people that's been involved in minis for more than a dozen years. And I have the role of, the auspicious role of being head of laws and referees for Mini. That's mainly focused on contact under 8s and above, really. That's what we're looking at. Like my good friend to the side, I'm also a community referee and referee at, and Doris is going to introduce herself in a minute, and referee both at all levels in senior rugby, including men's and women's prem, although I'm now an AR because apparently once you get into your 5-0, you're not quick enough. But also recently, early this year, the last flight properly for the year before COVID shut down, like Doris, I became a match official educator. So part of what we're doing here is trying to bring the new way of learning into Coacheree, which is what you're really here to do, is a refresher Coacheree. Disappointing that Flying Cookeries Festival is now being pushed out, but we still are going through the process to try and get something. We still have the ability to coach our kids, and from the small number of on-field coacheries that I've been doing on Sundays, boy, is everyone rusty. So this is all part of how do we get physical and how do we stop being rusty. I'm going to stop there and hand over to my other co-facilitator to introduce herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Doris. And I'm level 10 and I'm also ex-HRD referee panel. And I've been rep for more than 10 years now, and I started playing rugby when I was a teenager, and then all the way up to the national team, and now
Here. All right, so let's just outline the agenda, and then we're going to get you to do something, because this is about everyone doing things tonight, because the only way we believe now, particularly in the coacheree, that you learn is to do. So it's not so much sitting and listening. Some of you are ready to do, and some of you have come slightly between. Some relaxed at this moment in time. It's for many of you an outing out of the apartment, which is great. Right? So a couple of things. What we're going to try and do is focus on just 3 things tonight so that we limit the time. And they're important things because based on which age group you are either moving into or progressing from, those things change. We've also seen at World Rugby some changes, particularly in the way the breakdown is being refereed. And I'm sure you saw that in terms of some of the Super Rugby, great game between the Argies and those Blacks, 2 losers on the trot. Very, very happy to see that on the weekend. So there were some things around the breakdown that are important. So we're going to focus on tackle, ruck, and maul. We're going to focus on command words, pitches, and command words, pitches, and the tools to be able to go out on Sunday and help coacheree the kids. I keep saying coacheree because it's more coach than referee, and that'll become natural as we start to talk through it. So here comes all the knowledge you want to know. Over to you, Doris. I'll get out of the way.
Can we have a quick check and to see? I'll try to stand here and see whoever now is the coach and referee for the under 11 and under 12 grade. Hands up. No. 9.
On the screen, under 11s, under 12s.
Yeah.
1. You're the most complicated. We'll come to you later, Les.
And how about under 9 and 10?
Right.
Okay. Because there's some difference in some areas. And how about the others? Under 8.
Perfect.
Okay, great.
Like to see under 8s here.
Yeah. Just remind me if it comes to your age group, if there's any variation, because well, my mind is always adult rugby. We can push the scrum all the way through to the inside 22. Okay, and tackle. Is there anyone can tell me that what tackle is? the definition of tackle. Just try.
Cheek to cheek.
Maybe a bit
That's the
dangerous.
first time I've ever heard that answer.
And when you teach your mini rugby kids, then what else that you would teach them about tackle? Try to stop them.
Someone going to the right side of the cheek and not landing on their head.
Yeah.
On the tackle.
Yeah.
And safety. Right?
Safety.
Body position. And how to fall.
Same. As a referee, safety, especially for mini rugby, is the first thing that we will see. If there's any problems, anything, just blow your whistle loud. Okay, stop the game, stop everyone, including the people on the sideline, those parents yelling at you as well. Okay, and actually tackle under the law is the player, the ball carrier, being held and then brought to the ground. That's tackle. Okay, can I have someone come up to the demonstration? Can we get forward?
Always wearing shorts.
No.
Maybe I need one more.
We'll do the referee.
I need one more, please. Yeah, just in front of the camera, make sure that they can see. Okay. So first thing, we got a ball carrier, and then we got a kind of a defender. Okay. This one we call him tackler. Okay. This is tackle player or ball carrier. Okay. Just slow motion. Okay. Just walking. Just keep it here. Yeah. Okay. Maybe we move to.
Move this way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Move
This way.
to me. Yeah. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Yeah.
Once we see this is being held. Okay, the ball carrier cannot go further anymore. So this is being held. One criteria. Okay, one criteria. And then second is go to the ground. So brought him to the ground. Okay, then stop. So this is what we have. This is a tackle. Okay. So first, ball carrier being held, and then second, brought to the ground. What's the definition of being brought to the ground? Thank you. So if I'm a ball carrier, if I got one knee on the ground, that means I'm on the ground. Okay, at least one knee on the ground. Okay, so when you see there's a ball carrier and then one defender coming, the ball carrier is one knee on the ground. This is a tackle. Okay, is there anyone can tell me that after? Well, this is a tackle. Everyone okay? Clear? Once you see a tackle, then what things that the ball carrier and then the tackler need to do? Can anyone tell me? Go to the ground, yeah. Both go to the ground, right? Sorry. Okay, ball carrier. Your focus
has to release.
exactly. Yeah. This is what I want. From the referee point of view, forget about the ball carrier. Okay? What I want to see is the tackler. First thing, tackler. Okay, go to the ground. Tackler, and then now the new guidelines is he needs to roll away. Okay? Roll, we call east-west. East-west, right? Yeah. Not towards to the defending team or towards the attacking team. Okay, sideways, roll away. So first thing, when you see a tackle, make sure tackler release the player first. It must be a clear release. Okay, and then roll away. This is the first picture.
Do we have any time limitation or how long we need to release? For example, or just normal. Sometimes you just hold it. Okay, they don't release. Okay. Sometimes
If you see them holding,
yeah.
then the ball carrier trying to struggle, that is too long. Okay, the law says immediately. Okay.
Can I just check that Zoom, you guys can hear? Can I get a thumbs up or something? Can everyone hear? So you could hear the question? Hard with a mask. Great. Awesome.
So I will say it's one movement. Tackle, go to the ground, and then clear, release, and then roll away. Okay. For the kids, you can give them maybe half more seconds to let them to realize all that they have to do. Sometimes if I ref under 12 games or even younger, then maybe I'll just shout tackle. When the kids hear tackle and then tackle, then I'm a tackler, I need to release the player. Okay, first thing, tackler. Second thing, now your eyes can be back to the ball carrier. Ball carrier can be either place the ball, roll the ball, pass the ball backwards. Okay, got it? So the checklist will be first, will be the tackler release. Second, the ball carrier release the ball as well. Okay, tackler release and then roll away. Okay. Sometimes if I'm very fit, some kids very energetic, then they tackle someone else, they get up, try to play the ball. In the old days, you can play from any direction, but now you have to come back to the onside position. Tackle here. If I'm tackler, I'm defending going that way. I tackle, okay? Maybe sometimes I roll to this side. First thing, clear release. Second, roll away. Third, get up. Make sure go back to onside position. Then we can play the ball. Okay? So 3 things now. Tackler, release. Ball carrier, release the ball. Tackler, go back. If he wants to play the ball, make sure you have to see onside position and then play the ball. Okay. So
I guess in a practical situation, particularly at sort of our age levels, it's often how long, and I guess that's your question, how long till you award a penalty for not doing that? Right? So you're calling that, you say, release, first to the tackler, and then you say, I guess then you shout the command to release the ball to the ball carrier. Is that how generally?
That's next. We come to the referee command. What command word that we will use? First, if you see the tackler is holding, then you call release the player. Just shout it, release the player, and then they release. If you call release the player, they're not doing this, they try to fight, then that means they have intention not to follow the referee's instruction. Then you can penalize. Okay?
Which one? The ball carrier hasn't released.
Depends on what did you see. First, what is your checklist? First thing.
As long as the tackler is back on his feet, he should be able to take that ball from the player, right?
You mean the tackler? Yes, as long as he get on his feet, come back to onside position, then he can play the ball. He cannot play the ball while he's still on the ground, or he cannot play the ball while he's in the offside position. Okay? So the referee command will be first thing, release the player. First thing, tackle, identify the tackle first. Tackle, player, ball carrier being held, and then brought to the ground. Okay? Then for some younger kids, maybe at the beginning of the season, the first rugby tournaments, then you can call tackle. Everyone knows tackle. Okay? And then the ball carriers, and you forget about him first. Okay? You have to look at the tackler. Tackler, release the player. Third thing is the ball carrier, release the ball. Okay? That's tackle.
So why don't we help you for all the different age groups? So as Doris went through that, you heard her use a number of words. Really hard, particularly for our friends on Zoom. Really hard for you to see what's up on the whiteboard. But 3 things if you're going to write down notes today. They are, the first thing is pictures, as in the pictures you see, and the words that go with it is see it, say it. And that's what Doris was talking about. So see it, say it. Learn command words. So to your point about how long, your words tell them what's going on. And the third bit, which is very different to when we're doing 15-a-side senior rugby, is it's talk, whistle, signal, explain. Talk, whistle, signal, explain. Right? Best way to think about it. So what we might do to practice what Doris said is we might actually do a crackdown. So who's brought their whistle? Awesome. Coacherees never leave home without it. Weapon of choice for everybody on there. What is it? It's not one of those dicky little whistles. This one is what? This is actually the Maserati of whistles. This is the Acme Thunderer because it doesn't make a noise like this. When you use this thing, because you want to stop the game. Right? So who's got their whistle? We're going to do it. We're going to get a ball carrier, a tackler, and a referee, and we're going to try it. Who wants to come up? Who wants to whistle firstly?
Carry the ball.
We're going to carry the ball. Oh, you're not going to go full belt, so you're going to leave it might be counting tackler. Are you going to be a tackler?
It's more dangerous.
Find a pin. I haven't done one of those in about 20 years. Anyway, awesome. And let's get someone to blow whistle. Perfect.
I'll make these mistakes first.
All right. So, how's our referee going so far?
Well, hang on, I need to observe the pitch.
Good. How's our referee going so far? Yeah? Everyone agree? Where's his whistle?
No, it should be in the mouth.
On your wrist. Get it around your wrist, so it's in your hand, it's instant to your hand. Perfect. Right, lesson number 1. How was that? That was good, Doris. Doris actually has hers on her fingertips. She's like the referee whisperer, the way it goes. All right, let's actually do it. You're going to use the command words, see it, say it. So these guys are just going to do whatever you tell them to do. All right, away you go.
Tackle, tackle, release.
So 2 words came out of our referee's mouth. They were? Release. I thought the best part was he just said release, right? Which is great because the release was what he really wanted. So he was talking to himself, he saw the tackle. Did you hear him actually hesitate? Did everyone hear him hesitate? Sorry, what was your name, mate?
Mike.
Mike. Did everyone hear Mike slightly hesitate? Those on the screen? Why did he hesitate?
Because he called it tackle, but actually my knee wasn't on the ground yet. So
Right, which means he was listening to Doris. That's perfect. Why don't we get someone else to do it? Same thing. But see it, say it, loud voice, whistle. If you need to whistle, ready to go. Change roles. Stay on screen, fellas. You're the movie stars. Don't do it too vigorously.
Get off the ground.
Tackle, release, away.
Perfect. How's everyone feel about that? All right.
Should we be saying, like, release the player and then release the ball separately as instructions?
So that's a great question that will occur occasionally. So the way we would layer that is release ball carrier. Right? But seldom do you have to worry about that until they start till the jackal happens. But in this situation, right, so when you hit the ground with the ball, what are you allowed to do? You've now been released by him.
Yeah.
What are you allowed to do?
I will just send the ball aside, and then release the ball, and then work it back to the sideline, take the ball back, and go.
Yeah. Okay. So let's try and show you the things that you should or shouldn't do. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's everyone watch, see if everyone can see this. So I've been tackled to the ground. I went that way. Am I allowed to go? Am I allowed to do that?
Nope.
No. Okay. Tackled to the ground. I'm allowed to do that? Yeah. I'm allowed to do that? Yeah.
Yes.
Am I allowed to tackle to the ground? Am I allowed to do that? No. So what am I allowed to do? What am I allowed to do?
You have to pass it on the floor before you get down, or you can't play it on the floor.
It's pretty obvious. I'm allowed one movement to play the ball, right? One movement. What we do at mini rugby in Hong Kong is actually one of the best in the world, and we train them to do one movement. Yeah, that's what they're trying to get World Rugby to train the Rugby Championship now. Stop cheating, play the ball. Why? Why are they looking to do that? What is the game of rugby about when someone goes to the ground? What are you trying to do?
Possession.
You're actually contesting, right? So if you allow a fair contest, then the game is played. Yeah, that's what we're after. And when we finally get to a festival, some of these kids will get 33 minutes of rugby on a Sunday, once every 6 weeks, right? So we want them to play. We want them to run. We want them to love it. Greatest game on earth, the game we play in heaven. We want them to have fun. So that's what we're trying to do. Should we do a little game
Yeah, we can do-
and do tackle only?
yes.
Yeah. Because there's more referees here who need to practice. Why don't we push the chairs back?
Maybe we do 3 passes maximum.
Yeah. Yep. So everyone hear that? So what we're going to do is 3 passes and then tackle. We're going to have someone be a referee. So what we want you to practice is your command words. So if you have got a whistle around your neck, just put it inside your sweater so you don't hurt anybody. Who wants to be first referee? Who hasn't been refereeing? Okay, have you got a whistle? That's okay. You don't put it in for this. I can blow it if you need to whistle play. You can be the referee. Okay. So we're going to run try line to try line, right? And we're basically split. Look at that. Awesome. Okay, so we have the right number. So these guys didn't have the ball. And this is kind of how you will practice it in coaching as well. So basically, guys, I want you to just sort of trot along, 3 passes. One of you guys has got to tackle. Now, it's not, this is when the testosterone, you guys on Zoom are actually really, really happy because none of you are going to get hit. None of these people have been tackled for a year. Now they're going to try and do something really masculine. Anyway, we'll see how we go. But you're in charge. All right, let's see how we go. Run it up, pass along. Pass, pass, take it in.
Tackle. Release.
Wow.
Tackle. Tackle. Release. Oh.
Just walking, just walking.
That's walking. Here we go. Testosterone's up.
Oh, God, yeah.
Lost control.
Pete's just showing that he's had a more meat pies on the way here and taken the bloke out. All right, Mike, you feeling all right? Good to hear. All right, so let's just pause for a minute. Really interesting stuff there. Do you want to give some feedback and then I'll give some feedback as well?
I think for you guys playing with these, you have to see if the tackler actually release the player, you can save it. Okay, say some words. Otherwise you need to drink water all day. And if you see tackler release, happy days. And then if you see the ball carrier still holding the ball, and then maybe you can add release the ball. Then the tackler, no more, it's not my fault, I've done my part. Okay? So try to add one more thing. Is release the player or release the ball. If the tackler is holding, not try to let him go, then you can say release the player. Then it's me, then I'll release the player. Okay?
So Doris is absolutely right. In coaching, I would say all the words when I'm refereeing. I only say the words I need to. Okay? So you see it, say it. It's always going in your head. Some come out, some stay inside. It's pictures. You see the pictures. How did you feel?
Sometimes I don't see the pictures very well. Maybe the player just hit my sight. I need to stand further.
We had it easy because we followed all the rules.
Yeah. So for those at home, a really interesting part of you was we said just do tackles, and these guys added a 2v2 ruck, which is under 9 and under 10. Very nice, very well done, by the way. Nobody did anything wrong, so it was really good. So a bit hard for our budding referee to see what was actually going on with the tackle because you guys were playing rugby, which is fantastic. But you said you had a little bit of trouble seeing. And what did you have trouble seeing? What was happening on the ground, or?
Maybe sometimes they are just rushing into the tackle.
Okay.
And maybe players will intercept each other.
Right. So basically it became a mess on the ground. And yeah. So there's some tricks to that. We'll come to that a bit later on. Anybody else? Anything?
Comment, I mean, I see that in our age group, we still have all the herding. And the tackle doesn't look as nice as we see it now. There's 10 from both sides in a tackle. So one tricky thing is who is actually the tackler, who is actually being tackled, because
You still got a lot. Come in here, so we're on the screen. Yeah, right. So you're coming towards me. You still got a lot of this. Which is essentially like, your family hug, right? That's nothing. It's just a little bit. And then you also got this one, right? And so yeah, so part of our thing is to actually we've got to manage that. So try and just see. So, any suggestions for our referee? Could you hear him?
Maybe follow. Yeah. I don't know for the seat. Sometimes it be far away. Here. Closer, easier to look because sometimes it's always
Best student.
together. And then
What's your name again?
Matt.
Matt, best student, Matt. So this is Collis's rules of refereeing, by the way, just so you're aware. There are 3 things that are important to refereeing, particularly with kids. Be there, number 1, make it safe, number 2, make it fair. If you're not close enough, you can't do 2 and 3, right? If you're too far away, you will miss the safety aspects and you won't be able to make it fair. And all those armchair people on the side, all the parents, they know more than you, right? Part of the reason we talk loudly, we're managing them, right? So just get a little bit closer. Yeah, let's change it. Let's have somebody else do it. Can we not have a ruck this time? I want this referee to not see a ruck. Because we didn't even talk about rucks and you did it. So somebody, you want to be a referee? Great, awesome. So you join this team. You've done your knees, have you? Lower back. Oh, great. Lawrence will be happy with that. Good to hear what the coaches are doing. All right, so you're the referee. And so play.
All right. Go. Yeah. Whoa. Tackle. Release. Next tackle. Penalty. High tackle.
Let's stop there for a second.
I was asked to do it.
Red card.
So that was beautiful. So again, let's just to what do we see happen in terms of the tackle? Those who could actually see it and weren't focusing on killing someone. Anybody tell me what they saw? What's the picture that we saw as the man here went in for a tackle?
Too high, arm around the neck, and basically,
Okay, it's a dangerous play. Yeah.
for my head coach.
So where
I don't think he's warmed up properly.
you know you've got a Kiwi chairman at this domain now too. It's all going to go to hell. Anyway, very quick. So where did the tackle? It was on Pete, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So where was the tackle on Pete? Did anyone see where it was? Was it at his moves?
No, it's behind.
So it came like that?
Yeah.
Right. Okay. So what that technical term, that's a seatbelt, right? Yeah. Okay. Dangerous? Yeah. To take his head off? Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what would be the call?
Neck tackle.
Close. See you say it. You just saw neck. Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah. Okay.
So that's high because it hits or comes into contact with the neck.
Yeah. It's above the shoulders. Above the shoulders. Right. Above the shoulders. So anything above the shoulders, and particularly for kids, and ladies, please excuse me, Doris is used to me. We really want it nipples and below, right? We really want it from here and there. So if we can hit someone here and below, we have tackled well. Actually, if we can hit here, we tackle best, right? Because that's cheek to cheek, because you are taking the thighs out. You're avoiding the knees in your face, and you're hopefully getting the right side, horrible tackle on the weekend with a head straight across. So you've actually proper tackle technique and you've taken someone out. So we really want to manage it here and down. Yeah, comfortable with that? So we've gone to our first signal, haven't we? So what's the signal for a penalty? Anyone know? We didn't train this, but you went to it, so what's the signal for a penalty? Right. So it's 45 degrees. Pointing to whom? Who do you point to?
The recipient.
The non-offender, right? Yeah. The person who's now going to get the ball, right? Yeah.
I think don't be shy when you do the primary signal, because you are not only telling the players, you're also telling the people on the sideline. So don't do this or high tackle, and then no one knows what's going on. Make sure low weight signal, and then let everyone know it. And then secondary, what's the high tackle signal? Exactly. So low weight, primary, secondary. So all the people from the sideline, from far away, they know what's happening.
Have a chat to the player at that stage for a high tackle.
Yeah. So this is Coacheree, right? And I would say even all the way up to under 12s at the moment, because our under 12s or under 11s are very rusty. They didn't get a full season last year, and they're now going into a difficult season now. I think this is a coaching moment, right? I don't think this is anything more than a coaching moment, and it's hey mate, part of what's happened. Penalties against you. Penalties against you because you've hit him too high. Can you keep your tackles down? All right, and just go back. That might use it as a coaching moment. Yeah. Anything else out of that one that we learned? So where did your signals go?
I had no signal. I just shouted out.
You pointed to one of my face and were red carding me.
Which is why does that happen? Why do we suddenly go?
It's football.
It's something happening.
But normally, actually, normally the red cards, the sending off happens after you calm it all down, you got people set, and then you say, okay, that's a red card. And the last thing you do is the send off right there.
We look at the older age groups. We've allowed sanctioning for under 11s and above. I'm always in two minds, particularly when I see an 11-year-old girl running off crying, she's been red carded by someone. I don't even understand what happened. So my view is, particularly now, going back into a season, coaching moment. Time for a chat, time to explain. If it was particularly vicious, like it was not that coat hanger, I'm going to coat hanger. I'm going to seatbelt. It was, I'm going to coat hanger.
Yeah.
Then, actually, you got support tackle technique. We need to coach. Can you work on the tackle technique and send me somebody else? Just work on the tackle technique and send me somebody else. Right, yeah. Good to go. Who else wants to be a referee?
Sorry, one tip. If you see high tackle, it's a quite serious foul play. So just blow it, okay? Don't go any advantage. No advantage for the meeting. That's what I suggest, okay? If you see anything hitting above the nipple, keep an eye on his arm, okay? If he slip up, blow it, okay? Don't wait. If you keep there, okay, you can save your whistle, okay? Let them play. But if you see nipple and then keep your radar on, okay? And if you see up, just blow it immediately. That's what for me, especially. You blow it, don't play any advantage. No.
So two things that Doris talked about. She just talked about the word advantage. Why did she talk about the word advantage?
Do you want to keep the game flowing when you can?
Yeah.
The advantage, if it makes sense.
So you've all seen this. You guys seen that on the screen? Where is it? There. Seen that? You all seen that? Yeah. You didn't come here to learn this, right? That's the 21 laws of rugby. Right? And then on top of that, we have all of the variations for mini, right? Okay. You didn't come here to learn that either, right? No? Good, because we don't want to teach you that. But first active laws in the 21 laws is law 8, which is advantage. You learn that before when you're going to get the game. The reason we want to do that is why. Why do we want to do advantage? Right. Except, as Doris said, when there's a coaching moment because it was dangerous. Particularly. All right. Well, let's do it again. Different ref. Different ref. No rucks. Who wants to be a ref? Who hasn't had a go?
All right.
Mac, ready to go? Great. Okay, rule number 1, where does that whistle go? Awesome. The reason why, just so you, just to explain why, is if you've got it around your neck, you've now got one hand that you can't use, right? And then the situation happens when you suddenly go, oh bugger, they're running too fast, and you drop it. Now the whistle's flapping around and you can't do anything with it, right? So it's an awkward position, and it takes away the fact that you've got 2 arms. All right, right, let's do it again.
Okay, go, okay, come on. Tackle.
Here we go.
Release. Release the ball.
Nice use of words.
Tackle. Release the ball.
All right, they're the right couple. I love it. So what happened, Matt? How did you feel?
Okay, so you be loyalty for the team. So actually, one guy he always holding the ball. Okay, good tackle, but holding the ball. So I have to start with the ball.
Yeah.
Another guy is okay, trying to come out. So moving, much more movement. So that's also actually whistle.
Yeah, good. How did everybody else feel about it? Did you feel like he was in control? Yeah. I thought it was a good job. Yeah.
I think if you go back to the previous question, how long should I blow the whistle? What do you feel when you talk to him?
Yeah.
Is he listening?
Yeah. You don't listen.
Me, no.
He's not listening. So you feel that you talk, if he's not listening, then you need to escalate. So you need to use your whistle, and then you blow it. So that's how, from the referee point of view, when you give the command, the player you can feel that they're not listening, then I'm sorry, then I have to use my whistle.
Okay, so in the minis, if they call like 1 or 2 calls and they say stop, blow the whistle and say release the ball, then they turn around and do it, are you going to keep the game going? Are you going to put a penalty?
So,
Or you go for a turnover?
okay. Our boss would say materiality and does the game continue, right? So one of the other terms, and I won't try to do his Welsh accent, is rugby brain, right? So use your rugby brain. So as the kid, and kids it's harder, when you get down to 12s, they should have learned to do this properly. But basically, does it look like momentum, or are they taking the piss? Right? That's essentially it. So does it look like momentum? Is that player trying to make a move, play the ball, use your judgment? Now, if some bozo's yelling at me from the sideline, just ignore it.
So it's also depends on position.
Yeah.
They far away from the try line. You let them be.
Yeah, that's rugby brain. That's rugby brain. Where are you on the path?
But you wouldn't blow your whistle and then allow the play. Once you've blown your whistle, you're stopping the game.
And so your talk, whistle, signal.
Yeah.
So you're now giving a penalty, and your penalty is for, right, you're moving along the ground, right? So I'm going to now explain. You have a chance to play the ball, not move forward on the ground. Why is that, guys? I think that's, Doris was explaining the technical definition of a tackle, and it was a ball carrier brought to ground, which is one knee, yeah, on the ground, they're brought to ground. So what has happened to a person when they're on the ground in rugby?
Well, they're out of play.
Right, they don't exist anymore, right? So that's what we all grow up with. Okay, we're ready to move to rugby, given that they know how to do it. So maybe we just get them to do one slow one and explain it as we go. So maybe we have a. Let's not have it. Let's not have a free for all. What we want is a ruck formed, but we only want people to form a ruck because you guys have just done it. So just form a ruck.
Just walking.
On the ground.
I got a tackle. Okay, stop here. Okay, ruck. In definition, is ball on the ground. We got ball on the ground. One player from each side. One player from each side bind over the ball. Okay? What is meant by binding? What's meant by binding? From the definition, this is called binding as well. Because as long as you touch him, then we call it bind.
Good, Cameron.
For the rough definition. Okay? All clear? So let's just go back. Ball on the ground, and then one from each team get contact. So we got a run. Is there anyone can tell me that once you got a run, what else that they cannot do? They cannot play the ball. Okay? If there is a run, they cannot play the ball. Okay? And then so besides this group of people, and then how about the others? You guys, what did you guys need to follow? Offside line, yes. Okay, so from the referee point of view, first thing, identify the run. Ball on the ground, one from each team, contact over the ball. Run, ding, start all, so I got a run. And then I got the offside line. Where's the offside line? Yes, backwards, okay? Try the offside line, backwards. Everyone, if they want to join, then they need to join through the gate. Okay, they cannot cut 45 angles on the right. Okay, they must join the gate. Yeah. I think for under 11 and 12 it's okay, but 9 and 10 we need to do. Then you may need to add one more thing. You need to count. Okay, 1, 2, that's it. And you guys cannot join. Okay.
Our command term is just to. Right, just to.
If you have a third person joining the ruck, do you have a choice to blow the whistle, or can you just say 2 in the ruck and touch the player and ask him to get out to keep the ruck moving?
What do you guys think?
Remove, just
I think
remove.
Remove, yes.
Yeah.
If you see the third player, right, wait, now I got 2. If I got one more as a referee, just play 2 in a go. You go.
If they haven't moved out of the way, then
Advantage. So, sorry, I'm giving you the answer. What are the alternatives? So, you've got this situation, and blue. So this is blue, and we've got a third blue, but it's under 9s and under 10s.
Yeah, I tell you, let's go, but
So just 2 blue, just 2 blue, just 2 blue. Now what can you do?
you have like 3 to 5 seconds.
I would actually just say, if I say it twice, that's around 5 seconds, right? If I say it twice. Just 2 blue. By the way, don't try to learn the names of the teams. Use their colours, because they'll remember what colour they've got on. And then in the middle of it, TMT monkey. No, right. So just blue, right? So just 2 blue. Blue doesn't move away. You've got 3 on one side and 2 on the other side. You've said twice to blue, move away, and they haven't done anything. What can you do? And no, by the way, blue hasn't won the ball. Nobody's won the ball yet. What can you do? You can stop and explain. Sure. What else could you do?
Pick up the ball and give it to the other side.
That's stopping the game. So that's a turnover. You decide to turn it over. Yeah, good. What else can you do?
So play on the side.
Well, you don't want it to play on because you want to. You're trying to teach a skill. Well, so you're over here, refereeing it. Ball's going that way. You're refereeing it. You see that the advancing players have added an additional one. Just 2 blue. Just 2 blue. Advantage.
Does that straight to penalty?
Because once you got it there, yeah, it's easy to go there. You already got it out. Yeah.
Would you in these studios, not when you're refereeing friends or anything like that,
Still got off the screen, Phil.
You're no longer on.
So you're there, you're third in. At this age group, would you actually go up and say, make that off?
Yeah, I would.
Just to get you moving.
Yeah. By the way, at NL3, the NL3 for 5th division, whatever, adult men, get out. Yeah. Right? That would be it. But that's only because they're coming in from sideways. So at this age group, you just got two. You just want two, just two. Blue, said two, back off. Now, see where I'm standing? Why am I standing like this? Bucks on ground. Why am I standing like this? Yeah, what am I doing? He's got a ball, so the ball carrier's going that way. I'm not doing this. Am I? I'm doing this. Why am I there?
Because they're going to get the advantage.
Because they've got the ball.
Yeah.
These guys are the ones who could be offside. Okay. So that's
So if I'm lying on the ground like this, you will be in line with the ball. Will you be in line with the ref? Be in line with the ball.
essentially they're in line with the ball.
How about this side, the feet? This side.
Those side for
This side, because of this, okay, this side, so okay, okay,
so we've got two blue and we've got three red. Just two red. Away. Advantage. Right? But the only way you can see it is to
But how do you? My question is now what happens in the advantage? The advantage means that the ruck has to fall apart and then you have to fall away.
basically those people have to do what you said, and now you've given advantage to the ball carrier. So you give advantage to whoever you want to give advantage to. If the advantage doesn't happen, what do you do then, guys?
What help?
Being said, the what penalty? Yeah, or stop the game because it's a coaching right.
If a player in that is sneaking up, coming from the side that hasn't touched the ball, okay, you would say away red, there is red. But would you leave it until they actually touch the ball to say, oh, that's a penalty and blow the whistle? Or would you actually, even if they get to touch the ball, you'd say leave it and they actually have to, leave it alone. So again, you just, as long as they actually pick the ball up and run off with it, so you can just warn them.
So can we go back? Can we form the ruck again? And go back to what Doris said.
I put it like this.
So just listen to this, guys. So what do we want? We want, so stay out there. Stay out there. So what did Doris say? We've now got a ruck. So you said ruck. Okay. That's is in here. Turn on here. What? So do something wrong. Go for the ball. Do something wrong. Yeah. So now what would we say to him?
Hands off.
No hands. Right. Go get it. Right. Now do something even worse. And that is, don't put your hands on him, put your hands on the ground. On your feet. Get back on your feet. Right? Again, doesn't do something, well, you then got choices. The two things you want, they've got to stay on their feet and they've got to no hands. Right? And under 9s and under 10s, there's only got to be two. So we're complicated. but that's what we're after, right? Yeah? So the good pitches are your hands go on him, or at this age group, you at least engage with him, right? You might not even touch anybody, right? Right? You want to stay on your feet. Now, how did he go on his feet? When he went off his feet, what was the body position? Go off your feet. Go. No, stay. Your feet on the ground. Miss him and hit the ground. Yeah. What's he done? Now, Pete's being really, really nice and saying shoulders below hips. Head below bum, right? Head below bum. Talking to kids, right? Keep your head up, bum down. Head up, bum down. It's tackle position. Head up, bum down. That's what you want. So you will see it before it happens. Because you'll see like stay on your feet before they even come off. Right? So it's a good fun word to get used to.
This level, most of our kids are going you're going to tap the person and say,
we've got your bum in the picture, Mike. It's all good. Yep, that's okay. Go again.
Yeah, so I mean, imagine most of the kids will go, what's he talking about? And say, stay on the feet.
Yeah.
Are you sort of tapping say, stay on the feet?
Yeah.
Hands off the ground.
Yeah. I would basically get close enough. You should be close enough. Just go on your feet. Yeah. Now, we did under 13s football club versus Valley the other day, just a trial match, just getting used to things, and they were coming all off their feet. Now, that age, they're 12-year-olds, they've been through from under sixes, they're just rusty. So stay on your feet, you're off your feet, get out of there, you're off your feet, get out of there, advantage red, you're done, back to 10. So, and it's just this constant talking, coaching. Any other questions?
When we have a foul, we blow the whistle under 9, we back 5.
5 minutes. Yep.
5 meters.
Yep. That piece of paper, actually.
Of course it did.
Which is actually on the website, by the way. Okay, so what are we doing? What are we doing again now? So what we're going to do is we're going to change referees and we're going to walk it in. We don't want any passing and all that sort of stuff. We want a ruck to form, and people in the ruck can do whatever they feel like. So if some of you feel like adding 3 when you should, let's do just 2. If you do that, people put their hands in. Or be good, but listen to the referee. So we want the referee to control what's going on. Okay. So let's try. Who's going to be referee? Perfect. All right, guys. Let's. Yep, slow motion. No testosterone involved. You rep the whole thing.
Tackle. Goes round. Just two. Get out of there.
Very good. Break up. All right. So, and you know we always get the person who's refereeing person. How did you feel?
Yeah, it got confusing.
Yeah. And how did you manage it?
Talk to myself out loud about just.
So one of the things I heard there was everything he saw, he said, and that's a good sign. That's early on. Whether they were command words or not, he was saying it, so it's just getting used to it. So the more you practice, then you'll just use the command words. Tackle. Roll away. Just 2. How did you get them out of there?
Grab one.
Like this. Right? But it was still effective, right? Everyone knew what to do. Yeah? Okay, so we don't want as bad as that. What I want is probably something more inside the ruck rather than more the next one. Well done. Next referee. Okay. Seats on. That's all right. Yeah. You're allowed, boys.
Tackle short.
Stop there. Stop there. Perfect. How did you feel?
I thought we were okay until just sort of kept going at the end. I thought we were okay.
Doris, what did you see?
What did you see if you sat until the end? What is the end?
So then I think this came straight through the middle of I was already finished by that stage.
Yep.
What do you do when you see they put their hands on the ball? What happened? What happened is that you manage the numbers, right?
Yeah.
That's very good.
Yeah.
And then the second, you now next challenge to you is they try to put their hands on the ball.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
What do you want to do, or what will you do when you see their hands?
We don't want hands on the ball, so no hands on the ball. So good. Yeah. So yeah. So you got to call that out. But I actually thought the ball was coming at the back and we finished. So so if someone's got their hands on the ball, it's no hands.
Should you shout ball out?
Oh, you got there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I had my hands inside trying to put it out, but it had
Can we hold that
out.
question?
Yeah, so I was trying to get the ball out.
Yeah.
It hadn't actually come out, so I've actually gone into the ruck technically. I'm actually supposed to stay in the back.
Well, if it's behind the back foot.
It was still inside. Yeah, So it was kind of like I was trying to squeeze in the.
You're a proper cheeky number 9.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else happen? So it's not natural at this stage, but part of it was actually an offside, and there was an in from the side, and most of that happened because and we'll play it back to you, but your body position was actually down that, looking at the ball. Right. This stuff happened up here, outside of your vision. Yeah. So again, we've got, and I didn't hear ruck, so you didn't let them know that there was a ruck, so they didn't know what they were going to do next. So you went straight to no hands. It said ruck, no hands, then they know what they're doing. But usual tendency, straight to look at the ball. So there was a guy came in from the side over there. This cheeky fella threw and sticking his hands in, right? And you couldn't tell whose hands were on the ball because his hands were on the ball as well, and he was at the front. But so everyone's hands were on the ball because you were in here, hadn't managed the offside, hadn't seen him. Okay? And guess what? The kid's going to do that. If they see your back, they're going to run behind it, right? Yeah. 50-year-old players are even worse.
3 different simultaneous events.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do?
What's the best thing to do?
You'll try and talk it out. Otherwise, stop the game and explain.
If there's three simultaneous, it's what? It's not really good, is it? Use all sorts of words for it. It's a hot mess. Yeah. So what are we going to do with the hot mess? We do one thing, though. And you don't have to signal, you just blow it up and then explain what you're going to do. Then decide how you're going to restart. You're in control. Yeah. Okay. Anything else that came out of that?
So we're playing quick starts still under 9, so it's basically the outside goes back 5 in that position.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, though, manage your distance for offside because you do want the game to flow, so you want them to actually move. Okay. So just so
Playing the whistle, stop to explain the various things that come on. You decided blue is going to get the ball. Then you just say to white, back 5.
Back 5. That's it. Tap and pass. If you're going to restart it, tap and pass. Under 9s, so 10s.
But normally in that situation, you'd expect there to be more foul play coming from the opposing side, from the side that's actually got possession of the ball.
The kids, not necessarily. They're just trying to get the ball and run away with it. Yeah. That's what's happening. They just want to grab the ball and mum and dad can yell, well done, Billy. Sort of right. That's all it's about. What I want to do though is I just want to go back to the question about is the ball out and when can you use it? You've got to manage this in a row, and you can only do it based on your position as a coach, where you are standing. So can I get a rough ball? I'm going to show this. Over the ball. Yeah. So I just want to rough out. All right. Just 2 over. So just one from each side, so that everyone who's outside can actually see it. Hopefully the guys inside can see it. All right, so we have a ruck, we have a ball carrier on the ground, beautiful pencil. So they've got the longest part. We've got 2 people bound, they're on their feet, everything here is perfect. That ball, where is that ball right now? Is it in the ruck? Why is it not in the ruck? Yep. Yep. I'll give you a simpler one. Can a bird shit on that? Yeah, so it's out, right? It's out. Your man here's made it out. So what can all the people over here do if that ball's out? They're all on side here. What can they do now? Hey, your mates, I'm gone. Right? Because it's out. So why do we want the second guy to come into the ruck? Second man in. Is that ball out? No. No. But can this guy, scrum half, can he now touch that ball? He can, right? Yes. Who else can touch that ball? Can this guy touch that ball? No. Can this guy touch that ball? He can detach and touch the ball.
When can he touch the ball?
Yeah. Perfect. Perfect. So one of the tricks you will see in under 9s, under 10, you've got to lower back from them. Sorry. No, I'm going to shove it. Can I get someone over here? Latter part of under 10, you'll start to see this. Bind on. Right? Okay. You'll start to see this. Check the little scrum half. Is he bound on? Right? Is he bound on?
Yeah.
No, he's just shoving. Right? Just shoving. You'll see that all the time. It's not connected. Hasn't done that. Hasn't touched. Right? Just shoved. And you'll see there's the odd quick one. So just be aware of whether they are bound on. Yes.
So you remove the
Yep. Yeah. Well, so why do you run straight up the man? Yeah, you want to basically push the offside line back as far as possible, right? So you're trying to get your team. So yeah, you would train people to go all the way through. You train people to go. Right. Grab the shorts. Yeah. So yeah. Okay. Where are we going next, Doris?
And I just want to show you guys about fly entry.
Yes.
So this is perfect. This is just pencil presenting, long present. So if we got two guys set a ruck on top of the ball, so the yellow cone is the gate for that side, and then the red cone will be gates for this side. So if you see anyone not come through the gates to join the ruck, so they come from the side. You see my point? Because we need to ensure they come through the gate. If I join the ruck, even I run sideways, but all of a sudden I come through the gate, happy days. Okay, I can join the ruck, no problem. But if I come from outside these gates, joining the ruck there, then all of a sudden the bat breaks. Okay, come from the side. Okay, if you can manage, me will tackle, go back because they're at mini level. Okay, but if they're not listening, or they're from the far side, sorry, I can't reach them, then I'm afraid I have to give the advantage. Okay, big now. Okay, so when you see the ruck, make sure that you got the offside line and then you've got the gate as well. The gate is for anyone joining from the side, then you have to manage.
And what's the term? You shout.
Then from the side.
So again, it's dangerous to play that run. So at this level, in from the side, degree of would you go degree of fence? What would you do? Let's do a scenario. So let's get the guys over. Yeah.
It's not overly dangerous at this stage, is it? It's more.
Well, it depends. I'll show you one. So two people. So I need another person on the side. Another person on this. No, I'm going to come in. All right. So generally, it'll be in from the side. It'll be defence, right? So there we've got the gates. So are you going to penalise this?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's your third man in, but
Third man in, I'll come here.
Yeah.
Right. What are you going to do? You've got options, right? You've got options. You've got a tool. It's a toolkit. Whistle's not the only thing. You've got a voice. So you can say two only. Those are, my eldest son was called the unit, right? And he's going to come in here and he's just going to go bolt over. Yeah. From under sevens, but anyway. So it could be dangerous. But if it's just latching on, you're going to say get out, right? Just two. What else can you do?
If he destroys the run, then you blow.
You blow it every day, right? Yeah. What else? Perfect. Right. Advantage. Straight out. So you're standing here, watching the offside line, so you actually see the bloke run in, so come in, and you're like, in from the side, get out, and you don't stay in there. Ignore me, push forward. Advantage wide, done. Right? Not listening. Yeah. He gets a penalty for not listening. Right. That's essentially what it is. Yep.
What is an early where you can basically run through and steal the ball because it's out.
Yeah.
I could keep spot. To see the difference of it.
You will never spot it if you don't. It's what I call, only Aussies would say this, the emu. Right? I'm watching the ground. Yeah, I can't see anything. There, I've no view to anything like this. Whereas if I'm here, I'm managing the offside, and I see that ball's out, what would you do there? You saw the ball was out. This is kids rugby. All the way I do this is seniors rugby. Ball out. Ball out. Yeah, they're in control. Ball out. Good. How do we all feel? Are we ready to have one more go at a referee, someone who has not blown a whistle?
I just have one question. If you have one team that really pushes the rock over, see how. It's like they grab the ball. When they push the rock over, they all.
Yeah,
and what's come out of the field.
Okay.
They can show it. So you have two guys here that push the ball away.
So we're marching.
Just, yeah, stop.
Now it's out.
Now it's out. Now it's out. So I
now Burke is shit on it.
Yeah, so now I've got it. Yeah, but he can't grab it.
Right.
He's in a row. Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah.
We do one more ruck. And I do, one team coming from the side, referee who hasn't refereed, perfect. You got a whistle, you don't need one. Don't need one. All right. Do we want these gates? No gates. Thanks, Doris. All right. Walk it in.
Louise. I need two.
Where was the referee? That was beautiful. So, how did it feel? What happened?
Three from those teams, three.
Yeah. So the first thing you saw was what? You saw there were more people than there should have been in a row. Okay, you called that. Did he manage that well? Try.
Yeah.
Try. The answer is try. Yep. Right. Then what else happened? Good. Did anybody do anything? No. What happened? Doris, what happened then? What happened next?
So you try to manage no hands, right? You try to manage numbers like a thing. And then all of a sudden you see a white player come from that side.
It was hard to miss.
Come from side. So did you guys in the rock hear what you say?
Didn't hear.
Just hear the.
I felt some land on my head there.
I hear the
Okay, yeah, you hear no hands and then you hear two.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it.
Felt something. I think it was. Move away. So.
Yeah. I think you try to manage. You try to manage him. You try to manage the white player, but he's not listening. If you got a whistle in your hand, what will you do? What will you do next time? Yeah, I think we all have to go it now. Go it now is a key. Okay, stop it because he's too naughty. Okay, big naughty thing going on. Okay.
But why was he naughty?
Didn't listen.
You're not there.
No,
it's an opportunity.
So where were you standing? So we've got the ruck here. Where were you standing? Right. So why did he do what he did?
Because I cannot see.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were standing there. Then I was the white player. You didn't see me now, and then when did you see me? Until I'm really diving on. That will be too late. Okay? You're not giving yourself time to manage me. So what will you do next time? Yeah. And then if all of a sudden I'm trying to dive, then you can stop me.
So if you're standing like this and we say belly button to try line, right? Belly button to try line. You're also doing one thing. He knows you're watching him, right? If you're standing like this, he thinks he's going to get away with it. Yeah. This way, don't you dare, right? I'm a fence, I got the whistle, I'm watching you. This way, I'm trying to deal with that, right? So that's the difference. Make sense?
The other sort of point I was actually trying to make rather than pushing it around was when Sylvan set up before, he was penciled that way, right? And so on this occasion, on this occasion, whoever was down was sort of like that. So across the pitch, right? Rather than penciled this way, before that way. And what we see in mini rugby all the time is when we fall this way, it's so easy for someone to stand here. Take ball.
Yeah.
Take ball there.
Well, if a city player along the run race, can anyone tell me what is the case now? Can you show me what it's called? So nothing to do with that way. If you see players, flying like a run like this, okay, paddle to the nothing to do with that. Just manage your gates, okay? Imaginary the photo.
But that now means technically, so sorry, I'm not very clear.
Yes.
So if we had a ruck of 2 people here, and I'm the server, I can come in from here and grab the ball.
You can use the gate.
Yeah. Okay, it's out.
No,
But it's
No,
still
that's
not
two-
come grab,
someone's-
right?
someone's
Two
standing here.
people over, yeah, you can still come through the gate and hit the back. This way.
Yeah, you can't come in.
So you can't grab.
You can
the
enter
ball.
through the grab, but you can't come in because there's a ruck ball, right? So that ball's not available.
But what can I do with this white gate?
Well, you're supposed to be entering on the back of the net, that other plane. So again, technically, he's come through the gate, but where is he attached to the ruck?
So Sylvan, that's just lean over me. The gate is that.
Basically saying you can't have 2 people touching on the.
Do you know,
Because you have
because you've got one. So just talk about. So coming in here, put your feet like that. Right? So you're leaning over. The gate is at the back of his foot, right? Yeah. Right. As wide as my feet.
Oh, it's not your game, right?
If you're facing the other
Yeah,
way,
my team.
you're facing the other way.
No, it's your phone, your face.
Oh, sorry. You're facing that way. Sorry, other way around. So the gate is his back foot, but the width of my body. Is that right? That makes sense? So you've got to come in from behind this player.
Any other player can come in entirely across there.
Yeah.
Those are 2 players coming out.
Yep.
No, I'm just trying to figure out how they can see a ball without it being.
Still have to push
And he has to
over.
bind on the
The
right
white gate
Everything,
doesn't.
everything, because this is for the attacking team, for attacking team. So if you're defending team, you have to push all over
So you can't
until
have,
the last one.
you couldn't have 2 like this and I come in and go, the gate and come in and pump it up like that.
No, that's
But you could join.
So why not?
You could come in like that and then it's the push.
because you've got to come in from behind his back foot.
Right, yeah.
So that was the point. That's what I was actually trying to do, rather than push everyone
Oh,
over.
only-
Was to come in from the side.
Only
like
the
that. So
last
that's the
person
time.
can pick up the ball.
Yep.
That's according to the law. Okay, if you all of a sudden join here, you are not the last person, idiot. He can pick up the ball. You are not. Only the last person from the run can get the ball out.
It's not found on.
Yeah.
I wasn't wrong. Look at that, all right.
But he said all of a sudden.
Oh, so then they come.
I come into the whole gate's so wide, I think this is great, I can come in and just come in and pick it up.
No.
So imagine how many 9-year-olds.
Can he,
Yeah.
if he's there, bound on
This is
10,
in the-
6 on the second cross, just step over and. Yeah.
Right.
There as well.
Well, you would
You
bind
can-
on
you can
to
step
it.
over and
You would
grab
bind
it.
on.
No, I'm saying,
So
independently,
no.
2 of them balls.
So we've got a lot of questions around the same, very similar question. And I guess the simplest answer to all of this is there is a ruck form. So there's 2 people over the top of the ball, right? So is that ball available to anybody not in that ruck?
Because no
Right. So it's not out. So that means nobody from any direction has access to touch that ball. Simple. Yep. That ball has got to come either way through this guy pushing this guy off and making it available to that team, or this guy pushing, someone else joining, and then the ball coming out. Right? That's the only way you can touch that ball. So Every single other person trying to do something gets the command word, no hands. Yeah, that's it. Really simple. We keep it as simple as possible. They will try to do all sorts of crazy stuff, but loud voice, no hands. How do we feel about ruck? Are we exhausted on ruck? Everybody on Zoom at home? Ruck's hand, thumbs up. We okay? All right, good. Should we have a little bit of maul to end the night?
You guys ready? Yep. Okay. Maul actually is similar to the ruck. We got ball carrier, we got off line, we got come through the gates, we got everything. But the only difference is the ball is not on the ground. Okay? We got ball carrier. I don't care. I don't care which team that come from. So just got a ball carrier and then got one player from each team joining. There is a ball. But ball is holding off the ground. Okay, not on the ground. Okay. And one more thing is for the binding the mold, it has to be fingertips to shoulder. Okay. So can we do a demo? The ball carrier and then one on the top. Is it mold? No, why? Only one player, yeah. Forget about the ball carrier.
What is it, guys?
So,
It's a manly cuddle. A little cuddle.
If you join, is it a mold? Why? Yes. Yes. No player from this team join. Okay? Until you guys have
So it's the
enough
same-
watching or something.
It's the same rule as the ruck, but you're standing up.
Yes. Yeah, all of them. It's a mold. No matter whether you join or not, because we already got all here, one from each team, one black, one white. That is a mold. When you see mold, it will dominate at the mid-rugby level called mold. Okay, because the group here they not realize that also that we got enough players. Okay, call mold. Once you call mold again, we got gates and then on the line.
What is the most stuff?
yeah, just check, so. it doesn't matter if anyone- What you said, right? Under 11.
So if you have an under 10, you have a more type situation.
11.
Okay, so let's do both. Okay, let's I know your question, so sorry to go. So we don't. What we're doing in mini rugby is we're layering skills. So when you actually look at the law variations that Doris called out, they're actually layering skills. Our hardest year is under 10s to under 11s. We add so many skills in that year, which is why actually you'll actually see it as you go through all the years. The best first year of tackle is under 10s. And then the best year of it all coming together is the Richmond Skin Lamb under 12s. Right? And that's because you've layered skills that you've gone through. So when it comes to safety and skills, we get them all. So as Doris said, we're going to use, we see it, say it, see the picture. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you realise when you're listening to, let's go back to the Argies versus Kiwis, although I was ARing, so I was trying to pay attention to the game I was on rather than the one on TV. Did you hear the referee actually say more than a maul occurred? The answer is yes, loud and clear. World Rugby standard is to let the players know that's a maul, because now there are different rules, right? So things have changed. Offside lines have occurred, you can only enter a certain way, the ball needs to be in a certain place. We don't want 8 and 9-year-olds to understand that. We also want them to be safe, their little bodies. So we'll do under 9, under 10s first, we'll do a run through, and then we'll do under 11s, under 12s, so you can both styles. Is that okay? Yeah? Good? All right.
Under 9, under 10. You guys have no more, right?
No.
If you see ball area and then one from each team, then what will you do?
We'll go through the sequence. First word you'll say.
Three.
You have to put those knees to the ground.
Well, we'll go through what the 3 steps are. So, has a maul occurred?
Yes.
Right, okay, so form the maul.
Yeah, from all.
So what's your first term? Maul.
If you say if it's your game, if you're the referee, what you say?
So you can remember the names you call it.
That's a maul.
Just for more, and then tackle. Tackle.
Tackle.
One.
Go to
Before
ground.
go to the ground, there's one more. Release, according to my Bible.
Yeah, release.
Tackle, release, go to ground. That's for
So
underline.
you're saying
Okay.
maul first, then you say tackle, but it's still on his feet, it's not on the ground.
No, so it's a forced tackle.
All right, so you're.
So we're forcing a tackle.
You declare it.
So we're declaring, so without going into too much technicality, there are a number of ways a maul finishes, and one of them is that ball carriers. So what we're actually saying is it's a legal entity. Yeah. So we're just,
So then you declare tackle, then you tell him release.
so we've declared it's a maul, we're then declaring it needs to be over. So tackle, release, go to ground. Because we want you, the ball carrier, to now put the ball on the ground and play the ball. So where does the release come first? Because this guy
We tackle it up.
is being held.
Actually, it's release the player.
Oh, right.
If you tackle it properly. So he has no ability to play the ball. In the love embrace there, he has no ability to play the ball. The game is stopped. Okay?
It's just a risk, you said release and just runs away.
No, that's why.
That's normal.
That's why, as Doris said, there is a set of words we must use in that order. Right? Ball, tackle. So it's ball,
Tackle.
tackle, release, go to ground.
Should we do a demo run?
Yeah, let's do it.
So when you shout ball, when you say tackle, they break away from each other. Then the players have to break away, or they're not allowed to break away.
Now they've got to go down.
Okay, so you can that's before you say tackle.
Yeah. So when you say maul,
Yeah.
so when we're training the kids, so when you're back at your clubs coaching them, your coaching process should absolutely be exactly the same. Is that when you hear maul, you are looking to release, and the ball carrier is looking to go to ground and position the ball. So that's the coaching part of it. So the referee is in this stage, Coacheree, is telling them to do the same.
It's when you maul and when you release, and then tackle go to the ground. So ball to go to the ground or only the ball carrier?
Only ball carrier.
Only ball carrier. So I have to automatically go down.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. So we're saying you're now tackled, right? So you do what you would normally do to tackle. That's essentially what it's about.
I think once you identify more and once you call more, then the outcome you want to see is the ball must go to the ground to as a restart. Okay, don't let them to keep fighting or passing the ball. No, stop it. Okay, if you try to pass, then stop, go to the ground. Okay, try to guide him. You have to go to the ground. Okay, and then we can restart.
The restart with him on the ground.
Yeah, restart, that means the ball on the ground and it's going to have to come up to pick the ball passing. That's why it's wrong.
And if you carry the ball in, and I'm with it, and then we'll progress it all with like, ball carrier gets
Correct. Yeah. So as
my
referee,
arm in there. I'm still-
as referee, remember that the ball carrier's got to maintain possession. They've got to maintain possession the whole way through this and allow to play. But the moment they go to ground, play the ball, what can occur? All right. Right. So it's basically just what we're trying to do, safety first, protect the young kids, get them to the ground. Otherwise, could you imagine a proper maul with 9-year-old kids in it? It's just as dangerous. It's actually, yeah. I mean, wait till you referee your first under 16s maul, it's horrible. So it is best thing to try and do, maintain safety, get the ball out, play on. It's really important. I think it's best practice again. So, yep.
And the ball is small. Still pass the ball back.
If I've said maul,
No.
and only at under 9s. So what we're trying to do is under 9s, we have identified it's a maul. We'll get to under 11s and under 12s in a second. But for under 9s and under 10s, we want to practice these words of how we deal with them.
Is it fair to say that you want to call it relatively soon because it goes back of everybody's when it comes to that massive file?
So you're not going to be giving a lot.
There's nothing. They are command words, and people must do what you're saying. Otherwise, you blow it up, and you let these guys start again. Rectified.
I think for you guys, one thing is for the goal you have to identify quickly enough. Okay, so ball carrier 1-1, and then just call mode immediately. Okay, don't let them to have chance to have time to get more people involved. Okay, as long as you point quickly, then and then you call mode, and then the 3 step, and then you have to go to one, and then the others will not keep joining. Okay, make sure that you be there, see it, and then call it.
The other one you see quite often, the kids got to go, someone's packing the kids strong enough to keep
Someone dragging the kid on by his feet.
Yeah.
and then you can't
Tap that ball.
Is it a tackle?
well, if he's tackled, he's still hitting it.
They don't, they haven't actually been
But the one is on the
No, the piece, well, basically round here,
Mhm.
and the kid is still like this, right? He's like,
Okay, grade 10, you are.
he's like this.
Yeah.
Swap roles.
Okay, stop.
You're not there.
No.
No, except you have
Doesn't make
Tackle.
and the kid's still going like this.
Okay, is it a mole?
No, the kid's still in motion, so.
Still
Still play,
Still
it's-
play. Still play for the league.
Yeah, if that is not a
If
mole,
you see it on the
still
floor,
play.
what if he's being dragged on the floor?
You can't release the pass ball.
See, by that point, the game is, he slows down and then something happens.
I think we have to identify the mole first. For your situation, the ball carrier holding the ball, and then the tackler tries to tackle him, but fail.
Well,
Then the
there's
ball
two,
carrier,
there's two that are hanging on to it. Like one's round, one's in the shirt.
But the kid with the ball's still going forward and on their feet. There's nothing.
It's nothing.
It's only when you can't pass the ball because he's stuck.
Or when the ball carries and he goes.
And it's a good tip because usually that's somebody from the attacking side joins in, and then it's more.
as long as you don't join, another one join, and then there's a mole, then you need to do it.
There's always one of those big kids who's strong. My oldest son was one of them. He still is. So you do see that, but again, just go through your pictures. The ball carrier is still on their feet. Nothing has happened. If one of their teammates joins in, then what do we have? More. And then we've got our checklist. Yeah. So we just follow our checklist, follow our pictures, understand what it is we're seeing. See it safe. Now, in your case, if you did think it was all a bit strange, just go, ball carrier pass. Just get on with it. But it's again, nothing has actually happened. So, no, it's just kidding. Yeah. Do we want to do them all? Want to practice? Who has not refereed? Okay. Baptism of fire, you're on next. All right, so what I want to do is this team, 2 passes, then form and then second pass, you connect. One of you guys connect, one of them more. Okay?
Wait. It's a ball. Tackle. Release. On the ground. Play up. It's a ball. Take ball. Release. On the ground. Hey, two. It's the ball. Take on. Release. Go to the ground.
Pencil, please.
Okay, stop sign.
Perfect. All right. So I like the fact that you guys all, without instruction, played it up and added in, and that's exactly kids rugby, and you're all cheeky little children. Anyway, how did you feel?
Actually, I think when I had the instruction, I think they listened. Because I shot loudly, and I think everybody just learned.
From the first move to the last one. see any difference?
I think there was a guy trying to interrupt. There was 3 persons trying to shove out into, and then guy just leave the ruck.
But how did you feel about the difference in terms of, because
The
there were
mole-
3
the
more
mole-
first
The first mole and then the last
and
one.
the last one.
The last one of all.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Three more.
moles. How about the others? The first mole, when we said mole, and then
Oh, I think the guy actually released like go down to the ground before I said it.
so I think everyone is start getting prepared. I think for the first mole, what I hear is it's a mole, tackle, release. Is it a bit too long, right? So when you go back home, make sure that you have to mole, tackle, release, go to ground. Mole, tackle, release, go to the ground. The sequence, okay? Not to let them have too long time. Otherwise, there will be too many people joining in. Okay, so make sure that you got your sequence right and remember all the time when it comes, and then you have to do it straight away.
So the positive was, and that's what Doris was pointing at, is by the 3rd time, you had it in a better sequence and the cadence was better, right? So it's quicker. So, yeah. Any other comments? How did everyone else feel about it?
The referee position is different. It was anyway.
Yes. Someone being a good student. You're in a much better position, and again, by the time the 3rd mole, not only was your cadence and your following the checklist perfect, your position was too. You're on the right side, you're looking down at the field, you had everything in your vision. So it was kind of becoming more, the only way you can get better at this is to practice. The only way. Yeah.
So just technical thing, when you're actually on the pitch as a referee, you don't want to be touching the touchline. You look at the touchline again, you want to be on the inside of the pitch.
Otherwise you're in with the parents.
Yeah.
No one wants to be there. Yeah. Okay. Even as a parent, I don't want to. So again, so we had practice, so it felt more natural. Yeah. And then you got into your position right as well. You moved quickly. Yeah.
And you even can pick up this from the other side. So that means your position is very good.
Yeah. And that's no, well, thinking about it, you are because of your position, didn't matter height differential or anything. You could absolutely see. Yeah. Perfect. We want to do under 11s and under 12s. Yeah, someone hasn't read. You. Let's do this again. Let's do the under 9s, under 10s again. Practice.
Like
You're under 9s,
normal
under 10s anyway.
we have-
Under 9,
We
perfect.
can add the tackle, ball, and butt together. Okay? Just 3 rows. Three passes, okay?
Release. Go to the ground. Go to the ground. Okay, 2 only. 2. Oh, sorry. 2 only. Go. Go. Tackle. Tackle. Release. Go to the ground. Oh.
Cool, fine.
Wait, that's my point.
How did you feel? So messy, too many things at once. Yeah, welcome to under 9s rugby. And in terms of command words, how did it feel?
Sometimes miss it, right? Actually, I just had to maybe 1 or 2 seconds to think about it.
Right. And that's part of it as well, is the pitches need to form, they'll form naturally as you practice it, because you sometimes saw a maul. So I heard, second time there was a maul, I heard you say, first time I didn't, but you went through the command words anyway. So they didn't really, well, they're being cheeky anyway, but they didn't really, if they're under 9, so they're 8-year-olds, they haven't really understood why they're doing what they're doing, because you haven't got that ball. By the third ball, you're on it. More. Yeah? What about positioning? Where was he?
No idea. We're dragging
Too close. I think he's too close to us.
very close.
That's the first time I'm ever going to say that tonight. Yeah, the biggest issue with Coacheree, mini rugby, is that people are trying to score a try from the halfway line and thinking about the next beer. And that's what we don't want, right? We actually want them to be near, etc. You're a bit too close. Just a bit too close. So you got shoved around a couple of times. Big took great joy in doing that. He was elbowing you and all that sort of stuff. You're in the road. So you just take probably about this far, an extra step away. Not a metre or anything else?
I think you guys picked up the technical rugby very well.
Yep.
Maybe I can teach you some advanced things. Like for example, if I got a blood for mold here, if I'm referee, I try to get to manage. The extra players out. When it's happy, then you can move out. That's what we call moving and move out. Okay? When you see the problems, you move in, get involved. Okay? No hands. Too many. Go back. Or manage them back. Once you're happy, if you see the ball is coming out, and then you can move out. Okay? This is attacking team. I move out to this way. It's okay because I can still facing. I can still watching the offside line. Okay, managing, winger, get back. Okay, you go back, and then all of a sudden, if they pass the ball, I just turn and follow the ball. So this is something to save your time. Okay, get in, get out. Still, you see my body position. Still facing the defensive team. And then when the balls come out, follow the ball, and then you just turn. All of a sudden, you like the ball again. So because you guys doing very well, so this is something advanced that I can recommend for you guys to know. Maybe you can try in your game in the future. Okay. Maybe you go back home or you just run a place, you know.
My kids.
Yeah, just get in, just imagine. Yeah, just imagine. Get in, get out, and then still facing, and then turn. Turn this one can save you.
Yeah, that would be the right way to say it. Got in, but didn't get out. So, how many under 12s do we have? Les on the screen, last man standing. I think what we might do is we've got a scrum and line out. We might add under 11s, under 12 balls to the scrum and line out session, which is next week. We won't do that properly, right? Because we've gone well past our time. I just want to do a recap. And then we can do any sort of questions. I've got a 9:30 I've got to get to. Canada calling. So hopefully tonight, what we focused on was those pictures. What you see, say it. So see it, say it, and go through your checklist in your head. We have some Coacheree books which were written some time ago, but the pictures are actually still pretty good. Some of the words need a little bit of adjustment. But they're good as a reference tool. So if you don't have a Coacheree book, we do have some tonight just to try and help you with that. We've still got to go through the next part for us to give you a little tick to say that you're at least been in a Coacheree course, and then we'll look to accredit you and find you a mini referee shirt. And all that really means is that at least you've been through the course. So it should say the people on the sideline, they've at least gone through the lessons, so give them some time. So see it, say it. Command words. Your command words are really important. So let's go through some command words. If we start with the tackle, what were the command words? Tackle. Perfect. First thing, I've seen it, it's a tackle, right? Release. Yeah. Yeah. But as Doris said, do we need to always say roll away if they actually do it? No. Right? But it's a word, but it's the third one. Yep. Tackle, release, then it might be ball carrier release. Okay. Easier, instead of remembering that, is just call the colour. Red release. Okay. Red release. Release black is the tackle. I go with the colour. Because otherwise I never remember who they all are. So release, roll away at your neck. Yep. What happens next? A ruck forms. So what do we say next? Ruck. Ruck. Yep. Ruck.
Just two.
Just two. Perfect. No hands. Stay on your feet. Yep. Is there anything else for offside? Last boots. Right? Last boots? Last feet? I say last boots because they don't wear boots. Right? I would say last boots. Okay. So that's our tackle, that's our ruck. Then we have them all. Jen, let's go through the command words. Roll. Yep.
Release.
Yep. Perfect. All right. Third part. Talk, whistle, signal, explain. Okay. So we've said those command words. Something goes wrong anywhere. What is in our toolkit? And we said, yeah. If we've got advantage but they do the wrong thing, where do we go to next? Whistle.
The other, if they're advantage and then they foul.
Right. What do you
If
do?
they're advantage, yeah, and then they foul. They're off the rule.
Well, they made a mistake, right? So we didn't cover how long I guess Steve will be all over us now when he watches this. In minis, what we do advantage we say is 5 metres in any direction, either sideways or forwards, 5 seconds. So it's 5 metres that way, or that way, and allow the advantage over. But again, to your point, advantage, and then they knock on. They got the first advantage, so they get the restart. They get the restart. You gave them the advantage. Yeah. Right. So, and that is a penalty. What's that one? Straight above your head?
Sorry, try.
Perfect. It's the one you really want to blow a whistle for. Right? Now, one thing we haven't said about signals and getting more right. There are pictures around signals. The back of the whole law book is full of signals and all that sort of stuff. It takes a while to get the signals. So that's why Horace and I only ever focus really on advantage, penalty, try. As long as you've got those, then you can do everything else. And we can teach you next week around Scrum and start to do secondary. The best way to learn signals, going to sound really, really silly, is put on a replay of your favourite game and stand there and referee. In front of the TV. Stand and actually do it. Watch the play, don't watch the referee. By the way, refereeing will kill your love of the game forever. You watch the referee, not the game. But watch what's happening and you make a call. Oh, that's a knock-on. Oh, that's headline penalty. Just get yourself used to just practicing pointing in the right direction. It's worth it, particularly if you get into it. When we get a festival. So yeah. Any questions? It's a lot in a quick period of time. The good news is that the feeling we got is that you're released all got something around rugby, so you understand what you're doing, which is brilliant. Because you should have done your coaching level 1 before you came here anyway. So anything new, Doris?
I think don't be too worried about so many things happening at the time. Just as long as you put the picture right, you can identify the tackle, you can identify the ruck, you can identify the ball. Just cut it into pieces. About the tackle, then it's a tackle. If it develops to a ruck, then you know it's a ruck. When there's a ruck, pictures, check it. That's it. When the balls go out, happy days. Just follow the ball and then wait for another tackle, wait for another ruck. That's it. Just practice. But in your mind, just cut them into pieces. Then once you got the pictures, just see it
will ever say, and is brief. So the signal, and you're about to explain, you have bought yourself time. There is no TMO in here. Take time to breathe, because it does get quite anxious. We watched each of you go through different stages of that anxiety and tinnitus go through it. So, and of course, we've got kids who are definitely trying to just mess you up, because they're also learning. So this is all part of it.
You mean as I need to take
So the buttons in the try line. Take the tubes next to you.
So like now they're.
So as you see.
Yeah, I'm telling you, with the technical team available, if that's the past ball.
Yeah. So they call it the attack line, so it's slightly behind the ball. Right? Slightly behind the ball. And then the defence line. And you would rarely go on that side unless you're right on the try line and something. Usually on the attack line. Watching. And as Doris said, then if the ball gets turned over in a ruck, you're in the other position. Really simple, it's 2 steps. So that's
everything must be loud. Whistle must be loud. And your command word must be loud. Sometimes it's not only telling players, it's telling people it's like that. Okay, keep them quiet. You give the command very well. They know what the referee knows what's going on. They don't need me to shout to you to do that. Don't be shy,
yeah.
Loud.
And to Doris's point, be loud, not angry. Or you've got to have some fun here, because they've got to have fun as well. You're trying to create a fun environment. You really want them to love the game of rugby. So, guys, I'm going to have to call it quits because I'm going to get back to Happy Valley and do this. So thank you.